7 in all. I have a homeschool haul for you today. I've already done a few homeschool hauls so far this summer, but I promise this is my last one. The problem is I had ordered all those books and ordered all those things that I needed for the different curriculums we'll be using for about the next 2 years before I arrived. Then once I filmed those hauls and everything, I packed my suitcases and I still had one completely empty suitcase. So what else was I supposed to do? I still had some kind of, I would like them, but they weren't necessarily priority enough to make it into the first batch of orders. I had some things on my list, so you know, I had to order a few more things to completely fill out my orders, fill out that last 50-pound suitcase. So I'm going to be showing you what I got today, and not all of it is books, so you should be proud of me. I actually got something other than just books to read, although those are my favorite things to buy. Does anyone else, like, am I alone in this? Books are the best part, right? There's nothing better than books. Yeah, I think so. But I'll show you some non-book things. First of all, I got some play money. We're coming up on the stage of life in math when you're gonna have to learn about money. I don't need to buy many math manipulatives for my kids because my mom already has all the basic math manipulatives from when my siblings and I were in school, but the money did not last through to the second generation, so had to replace the money. I also got some basic art supplies refills. Where we live, Crayola is super expensive. Like, I'm not lying, this would probably be at least $15, maybe $20 in US prices. Crayola is very expensive, and I still pretty much think Crayola is the best as far as just practical, washable, lasting kids art resources. I will try to link what I have bought down in the description below, so make sure you open that description for the links. But I got the classic markers. These will be great for, especially for my little guy who's just kind of learning to hold utensils, and those thick markers are great for him. Got some classic colored pencils. I do work with other kids as well, so we go through art supplies faster than just my 2 boys. We need to use them with the other kids I teach. These are my all-time favorite crayons, I've decided, with little kids. These are the Ultra Clean Washable Large Crayons Color Max. Color Max. They color so nicely. Like, my older son didn't used to love coloring. I don't necessarily think it's because of the crayons that he now is obsessed with coloring, but it was like the same time I got the crayons, he became obsessed with coloring. But I can understand why, because they're like really, really rich colors. Also, they erase really well. So if he ever wants to erase something that he got outside the lines, these crayons actually erase. These, I think it's because they're the Ultra Clean Washable or the Color Max. I'm not sure which part of it, but they erase. All right, so I got those. And I got these for me. Colorful pens. This is not sponsored by Crayola, but I just spent my money on them. Washable gel pens in all sorts of colors. Like probably 7 or 8 years ago, I decided I pretty much never want to write with a black or blue ink pen again if I don't have to, because there's so many colorful pens out there. So I use colorful pens all the time. I don't we'll own like one black pen for, you know, when we need to do official paperwork, but there's no real reason otherwise to use them. Now let's go on to the books, because that's really why I'm here, right? El Mejor es mi papá. This is a book required for Beautiful Mundo, Volume 1, that hadn't been on, just wasn't one I was able to get at the beginning. It was a little bit harder to find. I did end up finding it on Thrift Books. It wasn't one of the super cheap ones, like $3 or $4, but at least I found it, and I found it for not a crazy expensive price. Then I got Galapagos George. This is going to be for our Around the World book study when we're learning about Ecuador and the Galapagos Islands. This is a book I got, La Pata Pita. This is for teaching reading in Spanish, and I didn't exactly know what to expect from the inside, but it kind of has little lessons here on words or syllables. So here we have like the S syllables, sa, se, si, so, su, and then words with the S syllables. Let's try to see if you can see that. And it has different, so lesson 23, we've got the V syllables, vave, vi, vo, vu, and all of that. Teaching to read in Spanish is going to be something very new to me. I got this, and I got this. So this is The sum total of my Learn How to Read in Spanish resources so far, I'm going to have to figure out how to use that. Probably within the next year or so, we'll be working on that. I have heard that you shouldn't, that if you're teaching bilingual reading, you kind of want to teach both languages at a similar level rather than letting them achieve like total ability to read in Spanish before, or total ability to read in English before starting Spanish, because otherwise they might be reluctant later to read Spanish like for fun or for enjoyment if they fully achieved reading in English before starting reading in Spanish. This is new to me. I'm going to be figuring it out. You guys will get to go along on the journey. If you have any ideas on bilingual reading instruction, let me know. But we're here for the experience and the experiment, right? The first kid is the hamster. I was the first kid, I can say that. I have Cézanne's parrot here, and this is to go with Beautiful Feet when we learn about the artist Cézanne. This is part of our Around the World book study and extra book. I have Lemonade in Winter. This looks super cute. A book about two kids counting money. So this is for our math, the Math with Confidence series that we'll be using. I did buy some more math picture books. I have Leonardo, Beautiful Dreamer. This is for our Around the World book study. I had bought the second part 2, I had no extra books for, so I thought that was going to be a little sad because we don't have good library access, and I thought it would be sad to have no extra books. So I bought like a couple. I tried to buy maybe one for each country, roughly. So this one's about Leonardo da Vinci. This one was from Book Outlet, and it was very cheap. Un trineo para Gabo, and it's kind of hard. It's like winter. It's about going sledding. Trineo. It's kind of hard to find winter books in Spanish, so I thought I should grab that. And I had credit to Book Outlet, so that was like free. This is another math book recommendation from Math with Confidence, How Many Feet in the Bed. We've already read this because I've been reading some of these as bedtime stories to my kids while we're here. This was super cute. And apparently be wary of this book, Sleep Tight Farm, A Farm Prepares for Winter. It is like very persuasively good. This is part scheduled in Gentle and Classical Preschool, which I've already done with my older son. I will be doing it with my younger son when he's ready. And this was one of the books that it was kind of expensive. I had to buy this from Amazon. I couldn't find it anywhere else. This was expensive, but I'd marked it on my list as this is a really good one. So eventually I just bit the bullet and got it. When it arrived at my sister's house, because I'm using my sister's address for my mailing address while I'm here, she opened the package, she took out the book, she read the book, and then she put it on her baby registry because she's pregnant right now expecting a baby, and she's like, this is a must-have. She's also a farmer. So this was definitely a must-have for her and a must-have for me. It's super cute. Then Super Grandpa. This is also for our Around the World study. From Europe. I would have to look to see which country this was. Sweden or Switzerland or... yeah, Sweden. Sweden, that's the one. Then 100 Hungry Ants. That's a counting math book. That's a pretty famous one. Brother, Sun, Sister, Moon. This is about St. Francis. And for our Around the World study, Starry Messenger, about Galileo Galilei by Peter Siss. This looks really cool. I've never had a picture book about Galileo before. My sisters were already like peeking at this stack of books, and they want to dig into them too. Picture books, good ones, are appealing to all ages. The Further Tale of Peter Rabbit. This is set in Scotland, so this is going to be used when we do our Scotland unit in our Around the World study. Can You Count to a Google? Is for math. And so is Measuring Penny. Lots of math books, because one of the things that really appealed to me about the Math with Confidence curriculum was its use of picture books. So I did try to get, like, we still only have a fraction of the picture books they recommend, but I did try to get what we could. Biggest, Strongest, Fastest. This one was available on Book Outlet. I try to keep Book Outlet and Thrift Books links down below. So if you guys are new to Book Outlet or Thrift Books, you can use my referral link, get a discount off your first purchase. I get a discount off my next purchase, whenever that will be. This was Night Noises. This was also a math related book. And then this one, Jabari Jumps. This one we have already read 4 times since it arrived as a bedtime story. This is just the cutest book. This is scheduled in Gentle and Classical Preschool, and when we did it the first time, we just did the YouTube video because we didn't have it, but now we do, and so we'll get to use the real one. It's about a little boy jumping off the diving board. There's so much tension in this, like, being brave enough to jump off the diving board. It's really this right level of drama and doing something brave that my little boys really understand and relate to. So it's super sweet, super cool book. This is Actual Size, another math book, and it has pictures of animals or parts of animals at actual size. These are the remaining read-alouds that I wasn't able to find on Book Outlet. I was able to find them on Amazon. The Octopus and the Whale, these are going to be for our ocean nature study, and I will have a full video on that study and everything that I'm doing with that coming up soon. The Action of Subtraction, another math book, and I read this as a bedtime story to my son already, and he made me read it twice, and he said it was hilarious. Really loved it. This one was a math book, but I also got it because I grew up making applesauce with my grandma and have so many happy memories of applesauce making, so I was like, okay, double whammy, this is gonna be good. Fall, applesauce, math, perfect. This is a Spanish book, Guachipira va de viaje. This is for Beautiful Mundo. It looks super cool and fun. This was another one that was just a little harder to find for a good price, but I did find it on Thrift Books, so I didn't have to pay full price for it. And I'm looking forward to reading that. I'm trying to remember where it takes place. Maybe Venezuela, I can't remember for this one, but looks cool. I got an Easter book because we have no Easter books. The Garden, the Curtain, and the Cross. I've heard a lot of good things about this series, but I actually have no experience with it. Thrift Books again, so love them for getting the best deals. The Tom 10 is, maybe this one is the Switzerland one. Again, I'll have to look at it, but this is for our Around the World study. I got Ayobami y el nombre de los animales. This is for Beautiful Mundo, and looks really good. I'm excited for this. A lot of, I think, probably learning animal words and a lot more. William Shakespeare and the Globe by Aliki. Aliki, if you probably already know that author illustrator, but a lot of great books, a lot of great nonfiction. I'm excited for this. Might help me to understand Shakespeare a little better. And our final 2 books are one more math book, Math-therapieces by Greg Tang. Several different Greg Tang books are recommended by Math with Confidence, so I got this one. And then this book looks really awesome. This is London, and this is a pretty big book. I got it for a really good price on Thrift Books. They're the best. But it's kind of lots of pictures of going through all London, different sites of London, landmarks, and so on. And that will again be for our Around the World study. So I bought a lot of books looking forward into the next couple of years of homeschool. I am excited for us to be reading them all, using all these great resources. Not only my own boys, but my sisters as well can enjoy them. And I'll be seeing you next time. Bye!